Okay, so in this episode, I'm going to talk about laning phase matchups, I guess. Very specific matchups and how to do or what to do in these scenarios. So in this game, I'm playing Void Spirit versus SF, which is actually one of the worst matchups for Void Spirit, I would say. Because it's usually what happens in Dota is some matchups they gradually get worse or better for you, whatever. But this one is harder from first wave. But since I got a good block, it allowed me to secure first wave, which was a pretty big deal. I got level 2 right away. And I mean, in these kind of lanes, you need to understand that SF is going to be spending a lot of gold on consumables. So even if he's ahead of you in creeps, it's not as bad. Also, his levels are not gonna do as much as yours because you're a Void Spirit and you're more mobile than SF. Even if you lose the lane slightly or big time, you will be able to apply more pressure as long as you didn't give him a kill or as long as you didn't get too destroyed, which is doable as long as you play for the early bottle. You don't want to spend a lot of gold on stats or whatever because they're not really going to help you. So yeah, in this matchup, my entire goal was to not get shoved out of the lane by trying to get everything. So I did sacrifice. I gave up a couple of creep waves or whatever, or not creep waves, but a couple of creeps just to be high HP because I'm very prone to dying in this lane. So this is something you can actively look for. There aren't many of these one-sided matchups, but this is one of them. You can see like I tried to. He was out of position. I tried to harass him, but it didn't really work out. Anyways, because yeah, it was a bad trade. Which just because I actually made this mistake of doing this, I could have played it safe because I still have regen, same amount of regen, but I need to keep mine because he would have pushed the wave anyways into me, because I could have annoyed him by just trying to deny, which makes him raise, and I tank a razor maybe or something, and then he pushed the wave into me. Now, if I'm full HP, I can contest this under my tower, because he can only raise me because of tower aggro. He can never attack me, so I still have, I might be able to get better trade if I didn't make the mistake. But what ended up happening is I used my tango, I used all my charges on bottle, and I'm still low HP. So what he does is the correct move in this lane. He plays super aggro. He glyphs this wave for my E. If he didn't do it, it would have been fine because I would have gotten creeps, get the bunny, whatever. But now I am missing out on 2 waves because of one misstep I made, or not misstep, but one bad decision I made, which led me losing actually 6 creeps. So kind of turned out to be a big deal. But I didn't get too greedy about it, and I didn't give him a kill. So it's not that bad because he has used a lot of mangoes and stuff. So even though he has way higher CS, he has 8 creeps on me, the net worth doesn't look as bad. It's only 200 gold difference, which is fine because I'm also almost same XP as him. So it's something, it's just a trade-off. Also, I let my carry have the last pick, so there's that too. I allowed him to have better carry matchup overall, and this SF took last pick. So it's fine for me to not do super well in this lane. That is the basic. I mean, my game plan here is to secure the rune, to get the rune somehow, and get 6. I told my lich to TP mid, refill my bottle, which allowed me to stay, and he ended up dying to us. And then I get the rune, and now I have this option to make a move bottom because there's no SF and I don't really want to lane anymore, I guess, and also my hero doesn't farm small cam efficiently. So I went for this bottom rune and gank, and I ended up getting this solo kill, which is better than me just staying around here contesting this wave into level 7 SF, who's just gonna raise me out. And I also slowed down, so Grim didn't have TP, so my Doom is also safe for a bit. Even though I didn't kill the CK, but he will be fine knowing that the Grim can't be here. So he also gets a lot of space out of this one move I made. I could have chosen to just farm small camp, go to base, whatever, and then TP into somewhere, but just because I tried to make the move faster, it resulted into two things. I got the boundary rune, I got the kill, actually three things, and I ruined the Grim's rotation in a way, because now my Doom is able to pressure CK and the tower. So as you can see, I went for the rune, didn't work, and then I think I go here, I kind of feed, but that's life. I was trying to make a play, and so I see my CK is pressuring bottom at this point, and again, my Ench is sitting mid. She's getting free XP, free gold. So it would have been pretty stupid for me to move to TP mid right away to get these waves. And I also see their CK through this ops. Now he's gonna shell wave, so I TP'd bottom, and yeah, we went for this dive. We get a kill on CK. We actually get double kill here, which led to this tower. So it's just small things you can think about, which can be potentially the most rewarding play, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But in this case, everything I tried to do worked out pretty well, except for this stat here. But that's gonna happen when you're trying to do too much, I guess. So it's fine. You shouldn't be bothered by it or hesitant in the next play you make just because you messed up once. Okay, so in this matchup, this is the opposite of what I explained in the past game, I guess. It's very important for me to get the block, which I ended up missing. It's kind of... It could have been a big deal, but I think this guy also didn't block too well. Yeah, I mean, let's say if he got it in his tower, I think it would have been harder for me to deny. Because I also opted for Dragon Slave. This build is kind of less greedy. It's more safe choice because you peak hard on level 3. I could have opted for stun, which is more pressure early levels, easier to deny, easier to harass, but it's just something you need to decide for yourself what route you want to go. You want to go super pressure from the start, or also the difference between Lina, Ember, and Void SF is SF has an edge on me from the very first wave, but in this matchup, Ember is super fine for the first 2 levels, or first 2 waves, and it should get worse for him because I'm gonna get max attack speed almost all the time now, and I need to make sure that I keep hitting him as much as I can, because even though he has bottle and he can get these runes, Lina harasses too much versus melee heroes, and usually they can't sustain. So that's my goal. It's hard to deny versus level 2 shield. He pretty much hits a creep for like 80 damage with QB, and I do 60 whatever melee creep because of armor. So it's easier for him to get the CS. So my goal is to just hit him and make sure that eventually I don't even have to I don't even have to like CS better than him in order to deny and stuff. I just this way I can just make sure that he is not even able to contest it at all. The thing as Dr. 1 mid lane being easy is the small camp. I could have told my team to block it, but usually it doesn't happen. It happens effectively in official games because you have strategy time and you talk about it. You are pretty much talking all the time from the draft what you're gonna do, so it's easier to do that. But let's say if he didn't get those camps, he would be super ruined. Let's see how much gold he got. So he's level 3 right now. 3 and 4. He's gonna get level 4 and he's gonna get 130 gold, which he can never get actually, because the wave is here, and if he comes up, he would just get hit like he's getting hit right now. So this camp allows these matchups to be a bit better than they used to be, and the water runes as well. I mean, it is, but at the same time, I want to keep the stacks. So even if when it pushes this tower, I have max stacks, so he can't contest, and I almost have the same range as tower, so I can always hit him outside the tower range. So I always want to keep his stacks as much as I can. Of course, you run out of mana problem because at the same time I shouldn't be pressured, but you feel pressured in a way that you know this guy's farming small camp, so he's not getting as destroyed. So while I'm trying to harass him out of the lane, I'm also trying to greed up a bit by farming small camps myself. That's why I ran out of mana too. It's just something you need to. It's just something you need to be at peace with. You can't super efficiently do both. But he did end up going back to base, and now it's you can see the network difference. It's gonna keep getting worse for him. And in this matchup, it's he is kind of fine playing this matchup because of his supports. Coddle enables Ember a lot. Like let's say if I had Coddle, it wouldn't do the same thing as it would do for Ember. And then this guy refills bottle mid, and I think they make sure that they get the rune.
Don't be mad.
No, actually they didn't, and I got lucky. So okay, what happened was, this is actually big, right? I don't know if they talked about it because he did put an obs here, and they see me go for this top rune, and I get invis here. Okay, maybe the obs was out of invis range, so they didn't see, but I walked back in. But he didn't communicate with Morph, or maybe Morph didn't look. So I could have just gone back to mid and shove him out, but it wouldn't really do much because the lane's pushing and he is like raindrop. I can't really kill him anymore. So I went for this top move. Let's say if I had Regen or DD, I would have opted for neutral camps, or I would have, because there's no way I kill Morph without Invis. This is the only rune that allows me to kill him. So I went top. Because I had the siege creep at the time, I could have pressured mid with other runes, but this was the best scenario for me to do it. And this is the most one of the most important aspects I talked about. Let's say if this Jakiro, who did the correct thing for the first 30 minutes after 5-minute mark, or first 30 seconds, he TP'd mid. Now, like this Morph is fine because he's Morph. He's not gonna die to Pango, and lane is next to his tower. He can stick around for top. He can zone me out, he can make me go base. With one Q and Ember Fist, I probably would need to go to base, and I don't even get to see the rune, because I don't have obs on me right now. I didn't get in on time. But just so this guy ran top for no reason. Like it wasn't even like he was stacking on his way. And this lane is pushed. Pango's not having a good game, so I guess he has 3 kills, but he's low CS anyways. Morph is above him. So this, just because this guy decided to not secure the rune, it led up to his Morph dying, which is a pretty bad thing for him. Like he didn't do anything productive for the last minute. At this point, I'm Lina, so all I'm looking for is to get my bot as fast. Because I already made a move, a big move, so I'm not, I'm not sweating too much about doing something for my team, because the lanes are fine. So my move is to take runes from Ember. So his moves are weaker by default. Let's say if you get some arcane DD haste, it's easier for him to make a kill on any lane. But I got both the runes, so his game is also slowed down. He comes back to... So now from this point is I see my heroes and I see their heroes, and I know Lina scales pretty well into anything. So I'm just thinking about getting my bots and BKB Shadowblade, whatever. This is my objective at this point. Of course, if because of haste I ended up getting this kill, but there's nothing else on my mind other than get my bots at this point. And then we make this move, pressure Morphin TPing mid. They didn't get anything. So I'm also, and now I'm even more satisfied with what happens, because my Tiny gets a free lane top. And I get to free farm mids or camps. So this is all I'm gonna do for the next few minutes. Okay, now I'm gonna show this lane. This is probably the most even matchup out of the three we talked about, or we're gonna talk about. The huge difference in this game is my support, Coddle, is super imbalanced. Or my Pango becomes super imbalanced because I have Coddle. And let's say if Storm had some... The thing is, Storm is one of the biggest catch in the game by himself, and he has Nyx and Bane, and they all do the same thing. So they don't actually help Storm that much, other than protect him somewhat. And I have Coddle, which speeds up my game and increases my damage by pretty much 200%. So even before like whatever happens in the lane, I know this already, so it's kind of easy for me to decide what's going to happen in this game. All I need is XP out of this lane and my Defu as fast as possible, and I know I will have more impact than Storm, because every move he makes, he will have to pay a price for it. He would either have to go base or something like that. Whereas I will always be full mana, and if I'm full mana, I can do whatever on the map all the time. So this matchup is pretty even. We both get our bottle, and we do the same thing. The only difference is he farms small camp more efficiently than me, so he's gonna be slightly ahead all the time in the lane. He also has really slight edge in the lane, I would say. It's exact number, if I had to say, I would say 53-47, kinda. So he will have somewhat of a lead all the time, but it's not a big deal. And yeah, for now it's just gonna be basic. I don't remember anything crazy happening. We both farm. His Nyx makes a move. So this is the move, this is the rune move their supports make. My supports chose to stay in lane, because our bottom lane was losing pretty bad, actually. So, and also my WD used TP, but he has boots, so I don't know what he was doing. He kind of messed up by not coming mid at all, because if he was here as well, we could have gotten the Storm kill. And I don't know what Coddle was doing as well. I guess our top lane is struggling. Both my side lanes are struggling, and both their side lanes are having a good time. So their supports are more free to make a move, which ended up in me missing out on this wave and actually dying, which is kind of bad for my game, because we didn't really get much out of it. I mean, when you're dying mid to both enemy supports and your supports are static, I guess you can only hope for that they're doing something better that you're not seeing right now, because you don't have much choice. Easier option is to get mad, which I usually do as well, to be honest, because from fairness point of view, it's pretty stupid that I have to tank it. And so at this point, I just have to trust my teammates in their ability to play Dota, I guess, and to accept the fact that it happened, and I have to just look for the next play, and to also know that I still have Coddle on my team, which was, by the way, griefing. I remember this game. He refused to play with me all game for the first 11 minutes, so slowed it down. Every lane I went to, he moved opposite, actually. But yeah, I mean, it was that move can easily make you tilt, but it's just on you to decide how to react. And also Storm got DD, and I have no DD, I have nothing. So there are a few scenarios like here I can choose to. I mean, the fact that he got the rune is also puts me at a disadvantage because you can see I have no mana pretty much. Like if I use my Q on this camp, I can't actually TP, so I didn't TP. Oh, I didn't farm that camp, and they were diving, so it was easier for me to make a move because it's close to my tower, so I know it's gonna work. It has a very high chance of working, and let's say if my witch doctor decided to be greedy and TP mid, I think it would ruin my game because I would be stuck bottom without a TP and have no mana. But he TP'd bottom and refilled my bottle, which kinda salvaged the situation a lot. But then my Ursa TP'd mid and instead of bottom, and this ended up happening. Let's say if Ursa was here, this Storm can't really do this. But at the same time, I understand that his lane is bad, so there's no point for him to TP bottom. So pretty much I sacrificed my game for a minute just so Ursa can get something. And which is fine because he's the carry. He's gonna pretty much most likely win us the game. So it's fine to give him the space. And as you can see, it's I farm camps faster than him. So I took the small camp, gave him some few creeps, and I was like, I mean, I could have given him this wave too, but I was like, yeah, fuck it. You know, I took it. And yeah, so this Caudle hasn't played with me once. He should have TP'd mid here. I told him to TP mid. And he just decided to TP top when there's no point. There's no way he can zone this Red King. And I have no mana, no nothing. Because what could have happened is he TP's mid, he uses Q on the wave, I Q it, I push it out, and their wave is going to be in the tower, our wave, so they would have to react. They would have to react on the Storm, or Nyx would have to just keep staying despite him being 6, but none of that happened, so I couldn't be smoked because my Caudle didn't move to me. So it's kind of big mistake he made, which is game ruining. So yeah, what ends up happening is I go mid because it's pushed out and the rune is coming up. I think I play around it maybe, or no? Okay, so I am going top to my Caudle, which he was sitting there for 9 minutes. And then as I'm walking there, he goes mid when there's an Ursa there already who can get these creeps. So this guy refused to play together for first 10 minutes and it slowed down our game so much. He was single-handedly losing us this pub, pretty much. Yeah, because, I mean, the thing is, I was flaming him all game, to be honest. And at some point, he did listen. And after that, it started working out for us. Because then, I forced Wraith King out of top, pretty much, by making this move. If Caudle was there, we could have probably even pushed for this tower. But at the same time, my Ember needs XP and gold. So I have to leave him the kill as well. And also him not being with me made him die to this Storm. Gave him a solo kill on Storm, which is pretty big. So yeah, overall he's actually just feeling this game. Even though he's 2-deaths, he's just griefing super hard. And I think maybe now he starts playing with me, yeah. He finally refill my bottle and stuff. And then from this point onward, this game is gonna start looking better. Because we're gonna start moving together. Yeah, we're smoked. We go for this tower. We get this tower. We apply some pressure on Wraith King. I think we kill him. Okay, yeah, we kill him once. I ended up dying, but it's a fine play because they're all stuck. I don't know why my Witch Doctor is bottom, by the way. I don't know this as well. If he was mid, he could have saved me. And but my Ember got a game out of it. He got some gold out of it, and my Witch Doctor also got gold out of it. Ursa ended up dying, so I mean, in theory, this play should have been really good. We killed Red King once, forced them in their jungle, and only I died, but 2 of my players died anyways, because they were in somewhat wrong places. I mean, I guess it just depends on it depends on the mindset, to be honest, because obviously one guy out of 10 is going to be trying his best, and maybe other 9 are just there to kill time. So they're not uh, actively thinking about Dota all the time, or even when they're in the game, they're kind of default mode. They just want to they just want to play, you know. So what you can do is the best thing you can do is you do the right thing while telling your team to do the right thing, which obviously is super hard to do because in Dota you have to be thinking about yourself all the time, especially as a core. So dictating your team, especially your supports, who usually in the game don't have much to do, this uh, except for playing with their cores, it kind of be weird for you making the calls. But if that's the best way you can improve as a player yourself. If you only want to focus on yourself and not for plus 30 points or whatever, this is the best approach. Like you try to make the right move and you try to tell your team to make the right moves with you. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So the conclusion is a worse player would I don't know, try to get too much out of the situation. Like you would try to win the lane that you aren't supposed to win. It's just not designed by the game for you to win it, unless you're smurfing. And understanding of what your hero does in comparison to enemy mid. And pretty much telling your supports what to do and how to do it with you, so it's the most effective. Those 3 things I would say most important.